My homework tracker assignment. As you can see, this is the README. It has nothing in it yet, but it will have the link to the video eventually. So, I start out with just a public assignments class, and this is the base class. It has all of the values that I will need in each of these other child classes. And I have the name, the description, the date, the grade, and I have a method here that just prints all of these properties. And then I have quizzes, homeworks, and exams, and all of these are basically essentially the same except for the weight on the top. I have a default constructor and a parameterized constructor, and then a method to print the weight. So yeah, basically all of these are the same except for the weight. Then I get into the program, and the program it's pretty simple. It's almost like the first assignment, really. I declare all of the lists up here. I declare all of the variables, and then I begin the program right here. And it starts off with a menu, and it lists all of the things that you're able to do. And it has try parse over here, and if it's not one of the options, then it just continues. And the first one is add a quiz grade, add a homework grade. The second one's add a homework grade. The third one's add an exam grade. Then you can print all of the assignments entered so far. You can calculate the class grade, and then you can exit. So I'll start out with number 1 because it pretty much covers 1, 2, and 3 as well. 1 has get values and then quizlist.add quiz. So get values is a function right over here. It's a void, and it basically allows the user to enter all of the data that they need to in order to enter the respective assignment. And yeah, you can enter the name, enter the description, then enter the date, and then if you don't enter like a date, then it defaults to the current date, and then it allows you to enter a grade, and the grade must be an actual integer, and then it also has to be less than or equal to 100, and if it's not, if it doesn't qualify, then it asks you to enter it again. And so yeah, it has all these, and it sets these variables up here, the name, description, grade, and date, time. And then after those have been set, all it does is just calls add quiz, and the name, description, user, date, time, and grade are then sent to add quiz. That just declares a new quiz type and returns the new quiz, and it tells you that it's doing that. And afterwards, it just goes into, where is it? Yeah, quizlist.add and adds it to a list so that you can calculate it later. So that's the same for 1, 2, and 3. And then if we go over to 4, we have quizzes, and quiz list. So it just basically prints all of the assignments that you've ever entered so far. It tells you exactly what they are. And then we have selection 5, which, as I was told to in the requirements, it prints all of the averages, and it also prints the final grade. And the final grade is just calculated right here. But I do have something that's Q average, H average, and E average, and I'll go over those, and those are at the very bottom. So it basically just has an average and a total. It takes the size of the quiz list, which is just how many quizzes there are, and then it goes through, it adds those to the total grade, and then if the quiz list count is 0, then I set average to 0, because otherwise it'll try to divide it by the size being 0, and then you'll get infinity. So that can't work. So that's why I added this if. And then if it is greater, if there was something entered, then your average will be valid, so it just returns the average. And that's the same for all of these. So it goes through and yeah, calculates it. So I can just go through and try to use this now. And I have a few things. Okay, so welcome to the homework tracker. Please type an integer and hit enter to select an option. So I have a few values that I already kind of know work and tested, and I'm just going to do those now. So I'm going to do 1 to add a quiz. Please enter the name of the assignment, and that's going to be just quiz 1. Q1. I don't want a description. enter the date of the assignment was completed. Let's do the default invalid date, defaulting to current date. Please enter the grade you received, so that's a 77. And then, thank you, your assignment is being recorded now. So then I'm just going to go through and I'm going to add more of them, and I'm going to do another quiz. So that's 1. Don't feel like entering a name or a description or a date, and the grade is 64. And then the next one is just another 1. I don't feel like entering the stuff, so I just hit enter, and the grade I received is 93. All right, and then print all assignments entered so far. I can do 4. So you can see that I have a quiz 1. I don't have any data for these names or descriptions, but it still enters it, and it still has a grade, which is 77, 64, and 93. So yeah, and I can go through and I can enter some more. So let's do number 2, which is homework stuff. So let's enter the name now. Homework work 1, first homework. Date it was completed is 1/1/2020. The grade I received was a 74. All right, so that's good for 74. And then, yeah, I guess I'll just go through and this will prove that I can enter a name and a description. So I'll just go through and I'll add the grades now. So 2, grade I got was a 98. Okay, 2 again. And then I got an 83. Okay, so that's 3 homeworks, and then I have 3 more exam grades, so I'm going to add those, and yeah, it's all basically the same. So grade I received was a 68. It's really bad, but these are just random values. So I guess I can also just show you that it works with the default values as well. If I just hit enter, it says, this is not one of the options, please try again. So yeah, that worked. So I think I forgot where I am, so I can go through and I can say print all assignments entered so far, so that's 4. And I was on exams and I entered 68, and I need to enter 2 more in order to have 3 as well. So I'm just gonna go and hit 3. Grade I received on the assignment is 56. 3 again, 56. No, wait, 33. I just asked my sister to give me random values. She didn't know that these were grades, but it all worked out anyways. So, yeah. Now we can print all assignments entered so far just because, and you can see that everything that I entered worked pretty well. And now I can calculate the class grade and hit 5. And prints out the quiz average, homework average, exam average, and the final grade, which is a 76. So he passed, which is good. So yeah, that's what this is. So now I can hit 6 to exit, and it says goodbye. And then you can hit enter again to completely finish. That's it.